Hey there traders, welcome back for episode 55 from the stockbandit.tv. I'm always glad that you made it. I certainly hope that your weekend has been a nice and restful one. So as we move toward a brand new week of trading, one thing that I always do is take a look at the major averages first, see how they stand, see what the big picture looks like, and then of course most individual stocks are going to be taking their cues from that overall price action. They will be influenced by how the major averages move. Now, what that does is help us to establish a trading plan, help us get a little bit better understanding for what kind of directional bias may exist out there. And then, of course, we can determine what stocks we may want to be focusing on in the days ahead. So in this video, what I'm going to do is run you through the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 and, of course, the Dow Jones Industrial Average. And we'll take a look at each of those major indices and see how they look. So up first is the NASDAQ, which last week was really kind of the strongest of the bunch in terms of days positive. It actually saw one negative day on Monday. That was this move down right here. And then it spent the next 4 days recovering with some good solid strength, which took it to a new recovery high. When I say new recovery high, I'm looking at this March low, and we achieved the best levels on Friday that we've seen since that March low was made. So we have been recovering ever since then. Friday, we did clear some important resistance up here that we've been flirting with around the 1680 area. So now we're actually through there, and we've got some room to run higher. In fact, for the NASDAQ, we've got the next resistance areas up here around 1780. So I don't know that we go straight there, but we certainly could. What we've done in recent weeks is obviously make a very sharp move up off the low, and then the action has been pretty choppy over the past 2 weeks. We've essentially been moving sideways within this kind of box type pattern, and now we're trying to break out. We did so on pretty decent volume here, is certainly above average, but now the bulls have an opportunity to run this market higher after this little digestion phase that they put in, this rest phase. So let's see if they can do it. They certainly have an opportunity to. The S&P 500 obviously has been really struggling with this 875 zone. We've tagged it a few times. On Friday we got very close to. Here again, volume pretty decent here, not real exceptional, but we would like to see a push up through 875 and certainly a close above that level, because if that does occur, then the S&P is back on the move to the upside. Here again, that would constitute a new recovery high from this March low. And then the next level above that would be around the 915 zone, which was really respected as kind of a resistance area back in November and December. And so that would be kind of the next zone of resistance for this index to tag is around 915, but it needs to clear that 875 zone first. And finally, the Dow Jones Industrial Averages is just 30 stocks here. So it's not been doing a whole lot, actually. It's really been channeling here over the past about 3 weeks or so, not doing much. We have no momentum. Price has simply been moving sideways, and that's very uneventful, very unexciting, but what it does is help to digest this big run up that preceded this rest phase. And so this is healthy action, even if it is pretty unexciting. The Dow does need to make a new recovery high, which would clear this 8190 level. If it can do that, then the next zone that I'll be watching for is right up here at the 8350 zone, which was support back here in December. And then once we broke down through it, it really posed as some resistance back in January and February. So I think that's the next zone to be watching, is around 8350, but we got to punch through 8190 first. So as always, thank you for joining me for this episode. I certainly will be back with more videos this week, but in the meantime, trade like a bandit.